My sister tried to wear white to my wedding. I stopped her. For context, I got married 3 months ago to my husband, Daniel. We'd been together for 5 years, engaged for one, and honestly, the wedding planning was both exciting and stressful. I come from a close but complicated family. You know, the kind where everyone loves each other but there's always someone stirring the pot. In my family, that's my older sister, Lauren. Lauren has always been intense. She's beautiful, confident, loud, and competitive in a way that can be exhausting. Growing up, she was the golden child. Better grades, more athletic, always the center of attention. I didn't mind much as a kid, but as adults, it became this quiet, unspoken rivalry. She always had to one-up me. When I bought my first car, she bought a newer one. When I got promoted, she bragged about her salary. You get the idea. Still, I've always tried to keep the peace. I'm more of the avoid confrontation type. When Daniel proposed, I was over the moon. Lauren was happy for me, but in that way where she kept reminding everyone that she'd been engaged once too, even though her engagement ended 4 years ago. I invited her to be a bridesmaid because, well, she's my sister. I thought maybe it would bring us closer or at least make her feel included. She agreed, but from the start she had opinions about everything. She hated the bridesmaid dresses, too basic, complained about the makeup artist, not her style, and made snide comments about my color scheme. Everyone does blush and gold these days. I tried to brush it off, reminding myself that not everything she said was meant to be mean. The first real red flag came during the bridesmaid dress fitting. I'd picked out a beautiful dusty rose color for the dresses. The other bridesmaids loved it. Simple, elegant, flattering. Lauren showed up late, looked at the dress and said, "This washes me out. I'll look terrible next to you." I tried to reassure her, telling her we could adjust the shade slightly for her skin tone, but she just sighed dramatically and said, "I might just find something similar that suits me better." I remember laughing nervously and saying, "You have to wear the same color, Lauren. That's the point." She just smirked. "We'll see." Fast forward to a week before the wedding. We had a final fitting scheduled and I asked everyone to send me pictures of their dresses just to make sure alterations were done. Everyone sent theirs, except Lauren. When I texted her, she replied, "Don't worry, mine's being tailored, it's perfect." Something about that wording made my stomach twist. So I called her. "Hey, can you just send me a quick picture? I want to make sure everything matches." She hesitated for a beat before saying, "It's at the cleaners. You'll see it on the day." That's when I knew something was off. I vented to Daniel that night. He told me I was probably overthinking it, that Lauren was dramatic but not malicious. And maybe he was right. I wanted to believe that. Then came the rehearsal dinner. Lauren walked in wearing a tight white off-the-shoulder dress. It wasn't a bridal gown, but it was definitely white, and it definitely turned heads. My maid of honor, Jess, looked at me with wide eyes like, "Is she serious?" Lauren smiled sweetly and said, "What? It's not technically your wedding day." Everyone laughed awkwardly and I tried to ignore the burning feeling in my chest. That night, I told Daniel I was done giving her the benefit of the doubt. If she shows up in white tomorrow, I swear I'll lose it. He rubbed my shoulders and told me not to stress. "It's your day. Don't let her ruin it." The morning of the wedding, everything felt magical for about an hour. I was getting my makeup done when my cousin burst into the bridal suite, breathless and whispering, "You're not gonna like this." I froze. "What?" She hesitated, then said, "Lauren's dress. It's white." I felt my heart drop. "No, like white?" She nodded. "Like wedding dress white. Four-length. Sparkly top. Everyone's talking about it." I swear my stomach turned. My makeup artist stopped what she was doing, staring at me through the mirror like she wasn't sure if she should keep going. I stood up and said, "Where is she?" "Downstairs in the lobby," my cousin whispered. "She's taking selfies." I stormed down the hall, still in my robe, with my maid of honor trailing behind me, trying to calm me down. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears. And there she was, posing near the window, smiling like she was on a runway. Her dress was a pale ivory with a sequin bodice. It wasn't a wedding dress per se, but it was close enough that every person who saw her would think she was the bride. I just stopped and stared at her. "Lauren, what are you doing?" She turned around like she was surprised to see me. "Oh, doesn't this look amazing? It was on sale and I thought it would be perfect for photos." I blinked at her. "It's white." He shrugged. "It's ivory. Not the same thing." "It looks the same. You know exactly what you're doing." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on. You're overreacting. You're the bride. No one's going to confuse us." I could feel my voice shaking. "Take it off." Her face dropped. "Excuse me. I'm serious, Lauren. You either change into your bridesmaid dress, or you don't come to the ceremony." The air went still. People nearby turned to look. Lauren laughed. That fake high-pitched laugh she does when she's trying to save face. You're being ridiculous. No, I said, you are. You've had months to get the right dress and you chose this. She crossed her arms, her smile fading. You're jealous that I look good. I actually laughed out of disbelief. Jealous? You're wearing white to my wedding. That's not confidence, that's disrespect. There was a pause and for a moment I saw something flicker in her eyes. Maybe guilt. But she quickly masked it with attitude. Fine, she said finally. If you're gonna make such a big deal about it, I'll go home. And she turned to leave. My maid of honor stepped forward, blocking her. You can go upstairs and change into the dress the bride picked or you can leave. Those are your options. Lauren glared at her like she wanted to argue, but she must have realized everyone was staring. She spun on her heel and stormed back to her room. I went back upstairs shaking. My mom came in a few minutes later saying Lauren was crying and that I should just let it go. I said, she knew exactly what she was doing, Mom. Mom sighed. She probably just wanted to feel pretty. Then she can feel pretty in pink like everyone else. Mom didn't argue after that, but she looked disappointed. Not in Lauren but in me, like I was being the dramatic one. Lauren eventually came down in the right dress. She didn't say a word to me during photos, didn't smile much, just stood there stiffly. Part of me felt bad, but mostly I felt relieved. The ceremony went beautifully. For those few hours I forgot all about her. But at the reception the tension came back. She avoided me completely, drank too much and made snarky comments to anyone who'd listen. At one point she loudly told someone, I can't believe she made such a fuss over a color. Later that night as Daniel and I were doing our rounds, I noticed Lauren had changed, again, into another dress. A cream-colored silk gown. Not as bridal as before but close enough to make me sigh. I ignored it. I was too happy, too tired and too done to care. After the wedding we didn't talk for about a week. Then she sent me a long text saying she was hurt and humiliated by how I treated her. That I'd made a scene and ruined her excitement. I stared at the message for 10 minutes before replying, you tried to wear white to my wedding. You embarrassed yourself. She didn't respond. 2 weeks later my mom called to say Lauren was still upset and that I should apologize to keep the peace. I told her I wasn't apologizing for enforcing a basic boundary. My mom said, you've always been so sensitive, and that was that. For a while I wondered if I was too harsh. Maybe I should have handled it privately, waited until after the ceremony. But then I saw some of the pictures guests had posted on social media. Lauren posing near the floral arch before she changed, smiling in that white dress. Someone even commented, wait, which one's the bride? That comment erased any doubt I had. Months later we're still not close. She skipped my birthday dinner, sent a short text on Christmas and has generally been distant. My mom keeps trying to get us to talk it out, but I honestly don't have the energy. Part of me misses her. The version of her that wasn't constantly competing with me. But another part of me feels like this was the moment I finally saw who she really was. A few weeks ago my cousin, the same one who warned me at the wedding, told me something that made my stomach drop. Apparently, Lauren had told a few people before the wedding that she didn't like being in the background, and that she was going to make sure she looked unforgettable. She literally planned it. That was the final nail in the coffin for me. Daniel thinks I should just let it go. She embarrassed herself, not you. And maybe he's right. But I can't help feeling like this was symbolic of our entire relationship. Me trying to have my moment and her finding a way to make it about her. Sometimes I replay the whole thing in my head. The confrontation, her smug face, the moment she realized she couldn't win. I don't like that it felt good to stand up to her, but it did. For once, I didn't let her take the spotlight. And weirdly, that's the part that makes me sad. That standing up for myself meant pushing her away. That our relationship was so fragile, it couldn't survive me having boundaries. But I guess that's what happens when someone is used to always being the main character in your life story. I've had people ask if I'd ever reconcile. Honestly, maybe one day. Families are messy and I don't believe in permanent grudges. But she'd have to actually apologize. Really apologize. Not the, I'm sorry you felt that way type. A real one. Until then, I'm done chasing peace with someone who thrives on chaos. The craziest part? At my cousin's wedding last month, Lauren showed up in a red dress. Bright scarlet, floor-length, dramatic as ever. My cousin laughed and whispered to me, I think she's learned her lesson. Maybe she has. Or maybe she just found a new way to make herself the center of attention. Either way, I'm not letting her steal another moment from me. Because that day, despite all the drama, despite her antics, I still got to marry the love of my life. And when I look back on the photos, the only thing I see is me smiling at Daniel, surrounded by the people who actually wanted to celebrate us. Not her dress, not her attitude, just us. So maybe that's the real win. Even if my sister tried to wear white to my wedding, She couldn't dim the joy I felt that day. She tried to steal the spotlight, but all she did was show everyone exactly who she is. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Because in the end it wasn't about her. It was about me finally realizing that I don't owe anyone, not even my sister, the chance to ruin my happiness.